Dear children, please get ready with your novel book, A Tale of Two Cities. In second term syllabus, we have chapter 8, 9, 10. So let's begin with chapter number 8. Now, as in the previous chapter where we left chapter number 7, we read that how Gebel writes a letter to Charles Darnay and he wants help from him, okay? And he wants that Charles Darnay should come and help him out because he had once risked his life for the sake of his master, Charles Darnay. Now, making his way slowly towards Paris, Charles passed one village after another, with each one that he entered and left. A barricade or gate was shut behind him. With each checkpoint he passed, more fanatical citizens, patriots appeared. Fanatical means mad. Okay, the totally mad citizens who are mad for their country. Okay, such citizens, they appeared. It refers to the revolutionaries. And he realized that he would have little chance of returning. He had managed to progress a reasonable distance despite the continuous stops for inspections of papers. That means there was a total curfew in the country, and people were only these revolutionaries were seen everywhere. Okay, and there was lot of inspection being going on before letting anyone in and out of that place. The current authorities had so far accepted the letter from Gebel as a valid passport, and the letter had been written from Gebel, and it was a legal passport for Charles to travel. After several days of traveling, he took a room for the night in a small town, still a long way from Paris. So he had been traveling since so many days, but then he was still far from Paris. Exhausted means completely tired. He went to sleep at once. Early the next morning, he awoke to see three men wearing red caps and the tricolor badges. Tricolor means three color badges, standing by his bed. Clearly, they were citizens of the new order, supporters of the revolution. So, three men wearing red caps, the revolutionaries, were there right at his bedside. Okay, and this is how one of the officers addressed: "Emigrant, these officers will take you to Paris." Charles did not understand. "I don't need to, and I don't need anyone to." "Silence! As an aristocrat, you are required to have an escort, and you must pay for it." They understood. They knew that he was an aristocrat belonging to a rich family. Okay, just like the Marquis. So they said, you need to have some escort. Escort is a person who is actually a guide as well as a caretaker. Okay, and you must pay for it. That you'll have to pay for all your safety. "Do I have a choice?" Charles wants to ask him that it's my choice whether to have an escort or not. But do I have a choice? Choice, listen to him. For the next few days, Charles and his two rough red caps. What who rough over here? Very rude. Red caps refer to those revolutionary supporters of revolution. Traveled at night and rested during the day. It wasn't until they reached Beauvais. Beauvais is a name of a port. Okay, its place, and a large crowd was shouting, "Kill the emigrant!" that Charles began to worry. He got off his horse and concealing his anxiety. Concealing means to hide one's anxiety. Anxiety is worry. Okay, hiding his worry, like his anxiety, his fear. He addressed the crowd. "Emigrant, my friends, I'm willingly in France." He said, "Emigrant, my friends, I'm willingly in France." That he is by his own will, he is in France. He is not an emigrant. Emigrant is a person who comes, he's not an outsider, right? You lie, traitor." Traitor is the person who cheats his own country, shouted a toothless man with a wild look in his eyes. Wild look in his eyes, that means he was out to kill anyone. "According to the new law, your life is not your own." Charles reacted in surprise. "The new law?" "Yes, selling the property of emigrants." "When was the new law passed?" "On the 14th, the day I left England." there will be others condemning to death all who return. That is why your life is not your own. Like he says, selling all those the aristocrats who have sold their property. Okay, so there's a new law against them. Okay, and when was this new law? That what was the law? First of all, the law was that their life is not their own now. Okay, it belongs to the state. It's the right of state either to spare their life or kill them. Oh, there will be others condemning to death all who return. That is why your life is not your own. At that, and the patriot came forward. Patriot, remember, you know already who's a patriot. Patriot is a person who loves us for the sake of his country. He is ready to sacrifice his life. Okay, so at that, and the patriot came forward and spoke. Leave him alone. He is on his way to Paris. He will be judged there. It was daylight when they arrived at the outer wall of Paris. The barrier was closed and strongly guarded. Charles noticed that, although it was fairly easy to get in, it was almost impossible to return. What Charles saw inside the city limits frightened him even more. The place was in chaos. What is chaos? Chaos is disorder. The place was properly in confused state. There was no peace there. There was a lot of disorder. Okay, people were against law. Signs of death and destruction were everywhere, and bands of wild people roamed the streets like savage pack of dogs. Savage over here refers to wild pack of dogs, group of dogs. Charles' escorts took him to guard room and led him to a bench where an officer sat. Citizen Defarge. This is the emigrant Evrémonde. Defarge lifted his head and questioned the young man. Your age? 37. Married, Evrémonde? Yes. Where? In England. Yes, of course. Where is your wife? In England. Of course. You, Evrémonde, will be put in the prison of La Force. Charles could hardly speak. But why? Under what law? We have new laws now, Evrémonde. The man smiled rigidly. Rigidly means like he showed that was a sarcastic smile on his face and recorded something in a register. When he finished, he turned to Charles and beckoned him. Beckoned over here means called him to follow. He told him to follow him. As he left for the center of Paris, Defarge looked closely at the prisoner. Is it you who married the daughter of Dr. Mallet, once a prisoner in Bastille? Darnay was shocked. Yes, my name is Defarge. I have a cafe in Saint-Antoine. Yes, I remember. My wife came here to recover her father. Defarge was silent for a moment. In the name of La Guillotin, the lady who cuts off heads, why did you come back to France? Now, please underline, La Guillotin is the lady who cuts off head, just like a goddess who cuts off the head of the prisoners. Okay, so it's like I swear in the name of La Guillotin. That's how he speaks. That why did you come back to France? You read the letter a moment ago. Defarge frowned and looked straight before him. An unfortunate truth for you, I'm afraid. What is unfortunate truth for you? That means you, being the Marquis, is sure to die. I'm lost here, sir. Can you give me some help? Charles Darnay speaks is none. Defarge says this, none. Am I to be buried in La Force and forgotten? He says, like, am I to be like you are imprisoning me in La Force? Am I to be buried here and forgotten? Others have been buried in prison and forgotten. Yes, but not by me. Over here, Charles clarifies his stand that he is not the one who has put others in, just like other aristocrats. He is not the one who has troubled the prisoners. Okay. Charles could see that Defarge was not going to help. Could you at least tell Mr. Lorry of Tellson's Bank what has happened to me? He just wants to pass on the message to Mr. Lorry. Now Defarge says, my duty is to my country and the people I will do nothing for you. He says that my duty is for my country and my people, so I will do nothing for you. Charles felt there was no point in continuing to beg for him. Okay, the prison of La Force was dark and filthy and reeked of death. Reeked of death means it was very dirty. It was in a very dark and filthy and was in a very dirty state. And reeked of death. Reeked of death means one could imagine himself to die in that such surrounding. He was taken along dark corridors and up stone stairs into a large room. To his surprise, it was full not of rough thieves and murderers, but men and women who were obviously of a better class, even though their clothes were in a tattered state. Tattered means torn state. They belonged to a better class. Charles was not left there, but taken to a small cell. He looked in horror at the dark, narrow room, wondering why he was locked there alone. So, dear children, up till here we'll read in this video. So, what do we come to know? That the Paris was in a very, very bad state. Now, all the revolutionaries were out in arms to fight against the aristocracy. And here, all the aristocratic people were being imprisoned, and even Charles was taken as one.